Well, greetings from Ignatius House. My name is Father Peter Fink, and I have been a retreat director here at Ignatius House for 6 years. Alas, I will be leaving Atlanta soon, heading to Cambridge, Massachusetts, and my hope there is to do some writing and to continue spiritual direction and retreat work up north. This week, the theme of our Contemplatio is darkness and light, and how the light is a gift to overcome the darkness. Even more, our theme is the journey that all of us are on, the journey to move away from darkness into the light. This is our faith, that Jesus is the light who, through death and resurrection, has conquered all darkness. Darkness and light are present throughout the Old and New Testament. You see it in the first day of creation. God said, "Let there be light," which he then separated the light from the darkness. In the book of Isaiah, the prophet says that people who walk in darkness will see a great light. Those who live in a dark land, the light will shine on them. And in the second book of Samuel, "For you are my lamp, O Lord, my God lightens my darkness." The light which God created is much deeper than simply a light to brighten our days. It signals deliverance, it signals care, it signals love. And in the New Testament, we see again how light conquers darkness. But there, the light is given a name. For God, who said, "Light shall shine out of darkness," is the one who has shone in our hearts to give the light of knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ. 2 Corinthians. All of us who believe and are baptized, and who receive the light at our baptism, are given a mission. For you were formerly in darkness, but now you are the light in the Lord. Walk as children of the light. And Peter proclaims just what happens to us because we share the light. "But you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people of God's own possession, so that you may proclaim the excellencies of him who has called you out of darkness into his marvelous light." The focus on the journey from darkness to light is perhaps less familiar than other symbols of our Christian initiation, like water, oil, bread, and wine. And that's a shame. One of the difficulties, I think, is that though we frequently hear the words darkness to light, we rarely get the feel for that movement. Words alone are not sufficient to carry its truth. To recognize light as a manifestation of Christ's presence throughout our journey requires a different kind of experience. Well, we do have in our liturgy one marvelous experience of that movement, when the Church gathers around the light, who is Christ, at the vigil of Easter. There we renew our own baptismal promises, and we welcome newly baptized into our midst. Well, as you know, the Easter Vigil begins in darkness. Everything we treasure as a church has stopped. There is no water, for the water has not yet been blessed. There is no consecrated bread or wine, for both have been consumed after the liturgies of Thursday and Good Friday. There is no Mass, only the quiet prayer before the tomb where Jesus has been placed. So we gather in darkness, the darkness of night, ready to begin creation again with the lighting of the new fire. The prayer, "Make this new fire holy and inflame us with new hope." The liturgy begins as the Bible begins. Let there be light. And from this new fire, a single candle is prepared and brought forth. And in lighting that candle, the priest proclaims, Christ is risen, Christ our light. This simple yet powerful ritual speaks the risen Christ in a way that words cannot capture. It's a moment when Christ, who has conquered sin and death, shines forth again through the darkness of our world, so that we, with Christ, can proclaim again, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. It's such a great moment as the light, who is Christ, then lights the candles of each of the baptized. It's the light that radiates from above at Jesus' own baptism. It's the light of fire at Pentecost. It's the light that holds us together with Christ. Though John is using a different image, the vine and the branches, he is speaking the same union we all have with Jesus and with each other in that beautiful phrase, I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit, because without me you can do nothing. Just stop for a minute. Get a feel for what happens here to yourself, to those around you, to your companions in faith throughout the world. We are united with Jesus and are now his presence in this world. Our mission is to continue his work in everything that we do. Unfortunately, the ritual goes too fast and is swallowed up by the readings and psalms and prayers that follow. Not enough time to let its truth fully embrace us. The Exultet is sung, of course, but even there, it goes by too quickly. But think of it. We stand one with the risen Christ, with our own candles held high, and we ourselves become this hymn of praise. This is our Passover feast, when Christ the true Lamb is slain, whose blood consecrates the homes of all believers. It's hard to grasp the passage from darkness to light without understanding the grip that darkness can have upon us. Webster's dictionary gives several meanings for the word, all of which are pretty grim. Darkness clearly means the absence of light, blackness, obscurity, and gloom. Darkness means a state of privacy and secrecy, the claim of the ego always to be by oneself. Darkness is about a state of ignorance or error, especially on moral or religious subjects. Think of our world today where truth itself is seemingly so completely ignored. And darkness is a state of distress from all kinds of trouble. From darkness to light is the move away from all that is the opposite. Happiness, not gloom. Openness and truth, not secrecy. Proper understanding and fairness, not ignorance and error. Peace and tranquility in all our dealings. So we proclaim the light even in this world of ours, though we know the darkness that must yet still be overcome. We have our wars. We have lots of violence. We have disrespect of people who are different, and we have betrayals of many kinds. There is so much need for the light still to reverse and transformed so much that is dark. Much attention is given these days to the war in Ukraine, and so it should be. And much attention is given these days to mass killings, most recently in Buffalo and Texas, and so it should be. But the elements of darkness are much deeper than individual actions. They pervade our culture. and are for all of us temptations toward darkness. I think of the classic 7 deadly sins: lust, gluttony, greed, laziness, anger, envy, pride. All of them draw us deep into the world of darkness, and all of them cry out for the light that is God. Christ, our light, is spoken in this world of darkness. Like it or not, acknowledge it or not, there is, as Gandhi noted above, a struggle raging within us between the powers of darkness and the power of light. And if we do not keep journeying toward the light, we will fall victim to the powers of darkness, a world of gloom, of ego, of self-concern, of ignorance, anger, fear. Well, we have just ended the season of Easter with Pentecost. We look at our world and are proud to proclaim the light of Christ, but we also look at ourselves, at that raging struggle between the powers of darkness and the power of light. And our prayer and our commitment captured in the Easter candle, our own candles, and the exultet of which we are a part, is this simple prayer: accept this Easter candle. May it dispel the darkness of this night. May the morning star which never sets find this flame still burning. Christ is that morning star who came back from the dead and shed his peaceful light on all humankind. He's your Son who lives and reigns forever and ever. Amen.